Good afternoon, East Goshen. Hope you're having a great Thursday. It is a rainy day here in Beloit, Ohio. But as we've been talking about throughout the book of Ecclesiastes, we have to find the moments of joy in the day that we've been given. And so what I want to remind you is that spring is right around the corner, that the rainy, warm days that we have now mean that the plants are going to be blooming soon, and that spring is coming quicker than we realize. In fact, daylight savings time begins this weekend, so we're going to have longer hours of daylight throughout the day. So that's something to look forward to. All right, just a reminder where we were on Tuesday. End of chapter 7, we talked about the middle path that the teacher offers to us. It's neither the extremes of doing whatever we want in life in order to pursue good feelings and earthly happiness, nor is it this overly righteous or really self-righteous understanding of ourselves. So really the teacher wants to commend reverence to us, to realize where we fall into the plan of God's redemptive work in the world, and to understand that God uses broken people like you and I in spite of our own faults and failures. All right, so that's where we were Tuesday. We're moving into chapter 8 today. And at the very beginning of the chapter, the teacher talks about obeying the king. This is not a Romans 13 understanding of obedience. It's more of a understanding that power corrupts people and that we ought to obey authorities because they can do really whatever they want to us. In the case of a monarch, they have unlimited authority in their nation. And so what he commends is the obedience to the rulers, not just because it's the right thing to do. He commends it to us because the absolute power that they wield gives them the license to do what they want and to abuse their power. And sure enough, we see this throughout human history. We see the cycle of abuse of leadership and ruling authority. So he continues, he moves through this obedience to the king, and he talks once again about a love for wisdom. And he has this moment here in chapter 8 where he realizes that the fate of the wicked and the fate of the righteous really can be flip-flopped. That society places the person who takes what they want out of the world and consumes and gains all that they desire from this life as a person to be celebrated. That really the wicked get the reward of the righteous and the righteous get the reward of the wicked. That a good life does not guarantee us social acclaim. It doesn't guarantee that we will be liked or loved. It doesn't guarantee that we will have the outcomes that we would desire. And that's been a theme throughout the book of Ecclesiastes. But here he specifically says that the wicked get what the righteous deserve and the righteous get what the wicked deserve. It's a reversal of fortune. And so when he considers all of this, when he asks himself, okay, what does wisdom have to do with all of this living? What does wisdom have to do with how I respond to the situation I find myself in? We get to the end of this chapter. And this is what the teacher says: when I applied my mind to know wisdom and to observe the labor that is done on earth, people getting no sleep day or night, then I saw all that God has done. No one can comprehend what goes on under the sun. Despite all their efforts to search it out, no one can discover its meaning. Even if the wise claim they know, they really cannot comprehend it. So here at the end of chapter 8, the teacher wants to say to us as his audience that even the wise, though they claim to have all this knowledge of the divine, all this knowledge of the way the world works, what they really need to have is a sense of mystery and awe. Even if someone claims to have life figured out, we should take that with a grain of salt because there is so much more to this world than they completely understand. Even more than that, we should never assume that we have God figured out. There is this sense in the passage of a divine mystery, and we lose a lot of that when we systematize our understanding of who God is. We don't leave room enough for God to be mysterious. This happens more so in Eastern Christian traditions. I'm thinking more of the Orthodox Church. But we really need to recapture our sense of mystery and wonder at who God is. Because every time we put God into a neat little box, he defies all of the boundaries that we put on him. Every time we try to say that we've figured out everything that there is to know about God, that we have all of this theological understanding and all of this learning, God still breaks beyond the bounds of our own understanding. He is still transcendent and mysterious and wholly other than we can fully comprehend. And so my question for you this afternoon is, how are you cultivating a sense of mystery in your faith? Leaving room for God to be mysterious, that he works in ways that are beyond our comprehension, that when we consider all the things that God has done on this earth, there is still a sense of awe and wonder at who he is. Because we can't put God in a box. We can't say that we fully figured him out. Because when we get to the end of our theological understanding, still God goes beyond what we can comprehend. So today, cultivate that sense of mystery. Allow yourself to feel the sense of awe and wonder that our relationship with God should cause us to have. Because as much as we want to say that we have learning and understanding, God is much bigger than any sort of words that we can put to his character, to his very being. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope that you are loving going through the book of Ecclesiastes. I'm finding it fascinating to get little insights from it. I will hope to see you on Sunday for service. Don't forget to set your clocks ahead an hour this Saturday, just so you don't show up at the wrong time for service on Sunday morning. We'll be in chapter 9, verses 1 through 12 for Sunday if you want to read ahead, or if you want to wait till service to dive into the text together. As always, thank you for joining me. I will see you on Tuesday, hopefully before on Sunday for service.